Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So we have been solving systems of equations and we have solved systems by graphing. So the first thing that we learned how to do was graphing. And the second way that we went over was called substitution. And now we're working on elimination. So the one we're working on now is elimination. And what we've done previously is we've had where our x values are the same, and so we've been able to add them or subtract them to eliminate a variable. Well, let's look in this one. If we were to just simply straight up add these together, we get 2x plus 3x is 5x, and 10y minus 5y is 5y. Did we eliminate a variable? And the answer is no, we didn't. Now, we also can't just multiply by a negative sign because none of the coefficients are exactly the same. So we're going to have to do something else. And remember, if you do something to one thing and if you do it to everything, that it all stays the same. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to pick a letter and make sure that they have the same number in front, the same coefficient. One's positive, one's negative, so that we can add them together and eliminate. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep this first one, exactly the same. So I'm not going to change a single thing. I'm going to leave it 2x plus 10y equals 2. So I'm going to leave it exactly the same. And what I'm going to do for this one is I am going to multiply everything by 2. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2, and multiply this by 2. So I end up with 6x minus 10y and a negative 34. Now, why did I do that? I did that because now when you look at these y's and I add these up, 2x plus 6x is 8x. And now what happens with those y's? 10y plus a negative 10y, these guys cancel out, so they eliminate. Equals, and 2 minus 34 is a negative 32. Now we can divide by 8, and x is negative 4. So we have half of our answer here. We know it's negative 4, comma, something. Now, which equation can we plug that back into? And we can plug it back into any one of those equations that we want to. I'm just going to plug it into this first one so that it says 2 times negative 4 plus 10y equals 2. So we have negative 8 plus 10y equals 2. Add 8, add 8. So we have 10y equals 10. Divide by 10, and y is 1. So the point where these two lines are meeting is at negative 4, comma, 1. All right, this question is, could we have done it just by adding or subtracting without multiplying? And we already said the answer was no, because nothing would be eliminated. All right, so today we're just going to practice solving these systems when nothing matches. So 5 and 3, these coefficients don't match, and these coefficients don't match. So what I am going to choose to do is I'm going to keep this one the same. So I'm going to leave this as 3x plus 6y equals 66. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to multiply this one by negative 3. So if I multiply by negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, I get a negative 15x, and a negative 3 times a positive 2 is going to be a negative 6y, and a negative 3 times a negative 10 is a positive 30. Now, why did I do that? Because look at here, now that says negative 6y and the other one's a positive 6y, these are going to eliminate. That was my whole goal of doing these. Now add these together and I get a negative 12x, And 30 plus 66 is going to be 96. And now, what is 96 divided by 12? Well, divide by negative 12, divide by negative 12. So x is a negative 8. So I have negative 8, comma, something. Now I'm going to put that negative 8 in for any x. I'm just going to put it in this bottom one for now. So 3 times negative 8 plus 6y equals 66. So negative 24 plus 6y equals 66. I'm going to add 24. So 6y equals, what's that, 60, 70, 80, 90? And now we're going to take 90 and divide by 6. So 90 divided by 6, y is 15. So we have the ordered pair, negative 8, comma, 15. All right, let's try a couple more of these. So now that I've done a couple, you guys should maybe pause this video and maybe see if you can try to figure out which one are you going to multiply by something so that we can eliminate a variable. I'm going to keep this one the same so that it is 4x plus 2y equals 6. And then I'm going to multiply this one by 2. I'm going to choose to get rid of my y's. So multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So I get 6x minus 2y is negative 16. Let's add these up. 4x plus 6x is 10x. And 6 minus 16 is a negative 6. Our y's canceled out. Whoops, I did my math wrong there. That is supposed to be a negative 10. So now when I divide both sides by 10, x is negative 1. So I have half my answer here, negative 1 comma something. So 3 times negative 1 minus y equals negative 8. So I have negative 3 minus y equals negative 8. Add 3. So minus y is a negative 5. So when I divide both sides by a negative 1, y is 5. So I get negative 1, comma, 5. All right, give this one a try. What are you going to get rid of? There's a couple different ways that you can do this. So my way might not only be the only way that you can do it. All right, are you going to choose to get rid of x's or are you going to choose to get rid of y's? Some of you are going to say, let's get rid of x, and some of you are going to say, let's get rid of y. You are not making a wrong choice. You can do either one. So I'm going to keep this one the same. Negative 6x plus 9y equals negative 12. And then I'm going to multiply this one by 3. So when I multiply by 3, by 3, by 3, I get 6x plus 3y, and 0 times 3 is 0. Now when I add these up, 6x, negative 6x plus 6x, these guys cancel out. They eliminate, which is what I was trying to get to happen. 9y plus 3y is 12y, and negative 12 plus 0 is negative 12. And I'm going to divide by 12. So y is negative 1. Now be careful when you write this ordered pair. Make sure you get this in for the y value, which is the second part of that ordered pair. So I have 2x minus 1 equals 0. I'm going to add 1. So 2x equals 1. And now when I divide by 2, I get a fraction 1/2. So you can put the fraction 1/2 in here, or some people like to write 0.5. Okay, so you could either have 0.5 -1 or 1/2 comma -1. All right, let's try this one. Are you going to choose to get rid of x's, or are you going to choose to get rid of y's? And either way is totally fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to get rid of my x's. So I'm going to keep this one the same. And I'm going to multiply this one by a -3. See how that's a +6? And that's a +2, so I want one of them to be negative. So I'm going to multiply this all by a -3. So I'm going to keep this the same, 6x plus 5y equals 7, -6x plus 12y, and let's see, 26 times 3, so this is going to be a positive 78. All right, these are going to cancel out. 5y plus 12y is 17y, and 78 plus 7 is going to get us 85. And now we're going to divide that by 17, and so we get y is 5. Now remember, in that ordered pair, the 5 is for the y, and the y goes second in your ordered pair. All right, I'm just going to use this top one. So 6x plus 5 times 5 equals 7. So 6x plus 25 equals 7. I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. So 6x equals -18. Divide both sides by 6, and x is -3. So we have the ordered pair, -3, 5. Okay, I think we just have one problem left here to go over. And let's see, do we want to get rid of x's or do we want to get rid of y's? Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one the same, and I'm going to multiply this one by a -2. -2, -2, -2, so that this becomes -6x plus 14y and a -4. And I'm going to keep this the same, 6x minus 9y and 9. All right, what happens here? These x's cancel out, and 14 minus 9 is 5. And -4 plus 9 is a positive 5. So when we divide by 5, y is 1. All right, in my ordered pair, the 1 goes in for y, so it's the second one. All right, I am going to put a 1 in here. So I have 6x minus 9 equals 9. So when I add 9, I have 6x equals 18. Now we're going to divide by 6, so x is 3. So we get the ordered pair, 3, 1. Okay, so this is elimination, and we have to maybe multiply one of the equations by a number so that we can eliminate a variable. So you can keep one the same, or you can multiply them both by a number and solve to eliminate. All right, good luck on your homework for today. Whoops, skipped a screen. All right, good luck, guys.